Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Investigamer. This video is completely unscripted, let me tell you that right now. And as the title suggests, I am gonna talk about Gamergate. I really don't want to be talking about this, but I've got several requests on Steam, and I figure I haven't done a video lately. I've done like 3 videos in the past month, so I figure, let's just do this. Let's get this off the table. Let's fucking get it over with. It's the hot thing right now to talk about, so Gamergate. I'm going to talk about 3 things in this video. Number 1, gaming journalism. Number 2, feminism in gaming. I can't believe I'm having to talk about this bullshit. And number 3, the term gamer and why it will never fucking fail. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this shit. Why am I even asking? But there's this huge thing going on right now in the gaming industry, and for some reason it has gained traction and people actually care about it. And it's about a number of people who happen to be modern feminists. Let me say right now, my opinion of feminism is not high. I think feminism died in the 80s. Modern feminism, I don't know how best to describe it. It's just a bunch of people trying to play the victim card near constantly. It's these people claiming to want equal rights, but in reality, they just want special treatment. As far as feminism goes in video games, there's this woman by the name of Anita Sarkeesian. Yes, you've all heard of her. Continue your vomiting campaign, get it all out. Yep, I know, she's disgusting. This woman made a critique of tropes of women in video games and how it's affecting our culture that a male character had to save a princess, how there's not enough female protagonists in video games. By the way, that's not true. There are tons. You can just search up on YouTube, search female protagonists in video games. People have listed off entire lists of all these video game characters from now to 30 years ago, just to refute Anita Sarkeesian's claim that women just aren't represented enough. Anita Sarkeesian wants game developers to start abiding by this list of principles they have to do. They have to put more women in video games. They have to have a female protagonist that is strong, that is just as able-bodied as any male character. They need to basically have quotas for how many females they promote in their games. She basically wants to take creative control of the gaming industry and turn it on its head. And it's just rubbish, because these developers have their own creative control and they're going to put who they want in it. What does it matter? What honestly changes about a character's mission, about their goal, about what they're going to do in the game? What changes the gameplay and how it plays out by changing their dick to a vagina? In any case, Anita Sarkeesian's goal does not seem to be working very well. People don't like her videos. She's been soundly refuted so many times by so many people, and game developers are not picking up her little agenda. They're just not doing it. I haven't seen it. I speak with a lot of PR representatives. I speak with a lot of publishers through email contacts when I request my games. I know some of them. I meet them personally and talk to them at conventions, and I just haven't seen it. I don't think that they're adopting this strategy of just shoehorning in feminism. So then comes along Zoe Quinn and this scandal. Zoe Quinn allegedly slept with a bunch of game journalists in order to get her Depression Quest game some high ratings or something, in order to gain power in the industry. Now, I don't know if this is true. I honestly don't give a shit enough to do the research, so I'm just gonna assume, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, she didn't do it. But let's pretend for a second that she did do it. Does that change the gaming industry at all? No. Gaming journalism is entirely opinionated. Game reviews, entirely opinionated. You cannot make an objective game review. There's no such thing. You cannot make an unbiased game review. There is no such thing. And just because a few bad apples decided to sleep with this girl and give her a fucking 5-star because she had good sex does not mean that the whole gaming industry is falling apart. Yeah, there's gonna be corruption. There's corruption in the movie industry. There's corruption in the fucking music industry. There's corruption in the tobacco industry. Name any industry in the entire world, there's corruption in it. And I honestly think that the gaming industry is better off than most. And the game journalism side is also alive and well. There's a lot of great game journalists here on YouTube that make excellent reviews and excellent videos. Angry Joe, AVGN, Gaming Nexus, Elder Geeks. And just because a few people wrote a fucking retarded article about this game because they had sex with this girl, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And I don't care if she sleeps around. She can do that. I can do that. Anyone can do that. I don't have a problem with your sexual life. As long as you're not bothering me, as long as you're not being a problem to those around you, you can have sex with as many people as you want. I don't give a fuck. Now, let's get to the term gamer. So, people are starting to say the term gamer is dead. The gaming is going downhill. What's going on here? That, a bunch of gamers responded to these feminists. They sent in hateful messages and hateful tweets and death threats. In what group of people does this not happen? In what massive group of people, in what massive demographic does this not happen? In what demographic are there no scary, mean people? Of course there's a few gamers that are jackasses, that are assholes, that are fucking psychopathic, that go out and send death threats to people just because they made a video about feminism. So what? Why do we care? There's always going to be a subset within a larger population of people who are douchebags. And you can't punish the whole gaming culture because a few people sent a woman hateful messages. And by the way, they didn't receive the hateful messages because they're a woman. They received it because of their actions. Anita Sarkeesian lied, scammed. She's a fucking fraud. And she's getting this shitstorm because her opinion just has no weight to it. It's completely unbacked by reality. She's not getting a shitstorm of negative response because she's a woman. She's not being hated on because of being a woman. Misogyny, hate to break it to you, not a big part of the 21st century world. Not a big part of first world America. It just isn't. And maybe I'm a white male, white privileged male, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But as I see it, and as many others who I've noted have seen it, it just isn't there. Look up the definition of misogyny and tell me if you see that on a daily basis. I doubt you can say it with a straight face. I really do. And certainly not in the fucking gaming industry. Alright, look, let me level with you. The term gamer is not what it was in the 80s and 90s. It's not some pimply-faced, pale white kid living in his parents' basement. This goblin living under the fucking bridge shit. This fucking geek with the pocket protectors and shit playing video games and having this little face. This idea is bogus. There are millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of gamers in the world today, and it is a vastly diverse demographic. I would argue that there are close to, if not just as many women playing video games today as men. And I would argue there are good-looking people who play video games. There are bad-looking people who play video games. There are those pimple-faced, fat, overweight kids in their parents' basement playing video games, yeah, but there's also the football players and the prep kids and the goddamn goths and everyone plays video games. The 30-year-old middle-aged man, the 60-year-old guy that's, you know, terminally cancerous. Everyone loves video games. Video games are a global force just as movies are and just as music is. And I and many others did not work tirelessly to get rid of this stigma against gamers so that you fucks could throw it away in a weekend over some stupid fucking cunt who slept with a few people to get credit for her game. We didn't work this hard to lose it to this fucking douchebag of a art critic, pop culture critic, Anita Sarkeesian, who wants to shoehorn in her social justice warrior agenda at every turn. Don't believe the hype, guys. Don't give into it. They don't have any traction in the gaming industry. Let me promise you this right now. Out of all the people I've met who are active in the gaming industry, whether it's devs, publishers, whatever, they don't give a shit about this Anita Sarkeesian gal, about this Zoe Quinn scandal. They don't give a shit. They're making games Because it's their passion. They're not going to shoehorn in this bullshit just because a few people said to. And if it's a comforting thought, think of it this way. Anita Sarkeesian and her ilk are the minority. They're never gonna gain traction because the only time publishers will listen is if the majority pitches in. If the majority sends enough angry emails. And they just don't have the chops. They don't have the numbers. Most people see this facade for what it is. It is horse shit. It is grade A, top keck horse shit. So that's what I think about Gamergate. I think it's a load of crap, and I'm sad to have even had to talk about it. Stay true to your dreams, guys. Stay true to gaming. Keep at what you do. Enjoy my future videos. And don't even bother with Anita Sarkeesian or Zoe Quinn anymore. They're not worth your time. I can promise you that. They're not a danger